It is Wednesday. It is 4:18 Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what time zone you are in or when you're going to be watching this. I welcome you. I thank you. I know I have a lot of fans all over. Thank you for your comments. I am looking forward to connecting with you further, to help you. So keep those comments coming in and let's keep the conversation going. So, my name is Daniella. For those who do not know me yet, my name is Daniella. I'm a licensed financial professional. And this program was created in January. We started January, all right? The mission, the goal of this program is to educate, to empower, to elevate, right? Those who are looking to better their lives. This is not for everyone, okay? So this is for that one person who is looking to improve their lives financially. So this is a financial show. So my dog is stuck in here. Oh my God. That's not good. That is not good. That's not good. So just gonna have to deal with the scratching. The dog is scratching on the door. He needs to go out. So as a licensed financial professional, I am able to help clients in all 50 states. So I am licensed and able to help. Hello, Andrea. Thank you for joining. It's Wednesday. It's Financial Power Hour. So we are here empowering. And today, I forgot to put my title. It's Back to School Edition Extended. Last week I started with Back to School. So we are picking up today. Continue with information regarding your little ones, right? This is the time. Either you've started already or you're getting ready to start school. So I am bringing you information, again, just sharing information with you to help you better your life, to empower you, to enlighten, to uplift you. That one person who wants to move forward, who wants to elevate their financial life. So again, nothing to sell you, just sharing information. So what I do ask is share it with someone else who may not know, because a lot of you have been learning a lot. So share the video. I'm looking forward to your comments and apply. So it will be worthless for you to get the information and not apply the information, right? So it is useless if you have information, you don't apply it, right? So that's how you acquire knowledge. So you have to apply the information that is being shared. So back to school. So this is a special edition for that person who have kids, nephew, nieces, who has a kid in their life, who has a child in their life that they care for, that they want to leave something for, that they want to empower them for a better future, right? So last week I started, I have to let my brother come get the dog because the dog is in here. Sorry guys, is in my studio. He's locked in my studio. So anyway, hey, that's why I love what I do, doing it in my own studio. My dog, my grandkids, sometimes they walk in, right? That's what I get for running my own business. That's why I fired my boss. So, right, it is not easy. Don't think that it's easy. So it is a working process, but it is all worth it. I get to do what I want to do, get to spend time with my grandkids, having my dog in my studio. So that's what running a business can offer you. So, hey, I'm not telling you to quit your job, but it gives you that freedom, right? Time, location, and money. Anyway, back to our topic. So the dog is out. Now we can concentrate. We can focus, right? So last week we talked about how, back to school, what you can do to protect your kids, what you can do to prepare for a better future for that child that you have in your life, right? So I am a licensed financial professional. Yes, we talk about all things finances, all things financial, including strategies that you can leverage, vehicles that you can leverage to empower your kids, right? So those who are informed, there are two sides to every equation, right? And when it comes to finances, when it comes to financial decisions, some are made with informed decision and some uninformed, right? So I don't know what side of the spectrum you're on, but we want to bring information so that you can switch side, be on the informed side. Those who are informed are setting up strategies, setting up legacy for 3, 4 generations. But those who are not informed, they are always behind the 8 ball, right? So in our brown and black communities, a lot of our kids, they live in college and a lot of debt, right? And that hinders their success. That's stressful. All of that money that you pay to go to school. And sometimes that degree really doesn't serve you anything, right? So having the strategy in place that can allow your kids to do whatever they want in life, right? So we talked about 529, the pros and cons. Everything in life, there are pros and cons, right? So if you have a plan for your kids, if you have a college plan, whether it's prepaid, whether it's 529, do you know how it works, right? The 529 depends how it's set up, where it's set up. You cannot go cross state. You can live in Connecticut and your kids want to go to New York, to college in New York. If it's not a plan that allows them to have interstate benefits, guess what? You're going to be at a loss. You will not be able to use that plan. And what if the kids, they don't want to go to college, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to get penalized because you had set it up for prepaid college or the 529. Again, a lot of people, yes, I commend you for having something in place, but a lot of times, we get sold into those strategies, but not really understanding how they work. So one of the goals of this program that I come in every day is to help you understand that you do need to read the fine prints, right? I know we sign the documents, we sign the dotted lines and put the document away. We have to go back and read those terms and conditions because that's what upholds those contracts, right? Those are contracts. So you have to be familiarized with the terms and conditions. Go back, whatever you have. You have an insurance plan. You got it 5 years, 10 years, 20 years ago. You were 30, 40, you were 20. You had one purpose, one goal in mind when you got that policy, when you got that contract, when you got that strategy. Review it. Is it serving you? Is it, if that same vehicle can take you to your destination, right? Some of us, we may, keep our cars for 20, 30 years, but most cars don't last that long. So that car for 20 years may not take you to Miami. So you need to upgrade, right? You need to have a better vehicle to ensure that you will reach your destination. So it's the same thing with financial planning. Whatever plan, if you have a plan, all right, whatever plan you have, is it taking you to your destination? If you take nothing else today, the plan that you have, is it taking you to your destination? Are you sure? Do you have security on that plan? You have guarantee on that plan? Do you know what you have? So as a financial professional, the one thing that I see with my community is that, yes, I have insurance. What kind of insurance do you have? I don't know. I got insurance. No, you need to know, right? You need to know what it's for, how much it is, and when is it expiring? If it's the one that expires, right? So, and the same thing goes for your kids, that you can set up, you can leverage. Yes, it's a life insurance policy strategy that you can leverage for your kids, that you can utilize, right? One powerful word that we have is leverage, right? What are you leveraging to ensure that your kids do not have a ton of student loan debt when they go to school. Is a strategy that you have, is it building? Is it allowing them to set up financially successful? Are they going to have success financially, or are they just something that's going to get them by and they really cannot build on, or have debts for degrees that they don't want, that not serving them, right? So the other thing we want to talk about is that, so we covered the insurance. Yes, you can have an insurance strategy that allows you to save, right? You can leverage for all the things in life for your kids. So we call it $1 million baby. So it's shown that historically, if you have a brand new baby, just hatched, putting away $100 a month for a brand new baby, historically, it's shown that by the age of 65, if they've never touched the money, they would have well over $1 million. How many of us, how different would your life be if you had someone who even left you $200,000 at 65 that you can use as retirement plan, take that trip? Because a lot of us, we are working, right? We want to wait till we retire to live, but we have to do better, because that idea, that mentality is not working. It is not working, because a lot of us, we are waiting till last minute to enjoy life, right? And statistics show most of us, after, we only live 5 or 7 years, right? So you put off that vacation, you put off that trip with your family, you put off that project till, I retire. But a lot of us cannot retire because of lack of planning, right? You're putting money away that you have no guarantee how much it's going to be, if it's going to sustain your lifestyle. So again, financial planning is that, do you have the terms and conditions? Do you have guarantee of money, a plan that when you do retire, when you do go into that second phase of your life, that you can sustain the lifestyle that you want to sustain? And we see it every day. You go into Walmart. Yesterday, I went to Walmart, and it's like, it's really sad to see the population that is serving us at Walmart. They don't come there. They don't go there because they bought at home. They need it, right? We see a lot of TikToks where elderly people are falling, having heart attack, delivering Domino's pizza because they need it, not because they want to, right? Again, no fault of their own, lack of information, lack of planning. You can be a bit better. You can do differently by having the right strategies in place, right? So again, yes, there is a life insurance strategy vehicle. So we're not going to say it's not, it is, because it is backed by Nationwide, Transamerica, AIG, John Hancock. Those institutions, they don't only do home, auto, right? They do a whole lot of stuff. Nationwide has a tax-free retirement plan. Most people don't know, right? But if you call Nationwide and ask them for that retirement plan, they're going to say you're crazy, because only those who are licensed are able to offer those strategies. The same thing goes for your kids. You can start setting up your kids up for success now, the day that they are born. As soon as they get a social security card, you can set them up, right? Hey, at 16, you don't have to go take a loan or go into debt or even deprive your kid from that car, right? You can have something that's building up for them. They can leverage it for college. They can buy an investment on property. They can buy a car that you don't have to incur debt, but it takes a lot of planning. So you may say, Daniela, okay, where am I going to get that money? Let me tell you, every year, right? If you have a child, every year, your Uncle Sam, that uncle that you've never met, give you some money, tax child credit. That's not for you, that's for the child. So why not start utilizing that money for the embetterment of our kids? Why don't we start doing that instead of throwing it in a new TV, right? Or whatever. Put some, not telling you not to buy your TV for Super Bowl, but think of that child credit. It's for the child. Leverage some of that money. Put some, even if it's $50. If you cannot do $100, $50. So that's $600 a year. So if you don't want to think of that monthly responsibility, when you get your tax return, put $600 away, $700 away, $1,000 away a year, every year. Every time you get your tax, you can fund your child's future. So let's not wait until the kids are 21 for us to start planning for them. At that time, it is too late, right? Again, we're going back to being informed and uninformed. Those who are informed, they are setting up 3 generations ahead, right? So us, we're always behind. So it is time that we are cognizant of our financial situation, our financial planning, so that we can leave a better future for our kids, for generations to come. Because we are here, one of the best way that you can have your memory live on forever is by having legacy planning. So what does your legacy look like? Right? Are they gonna forget you? My grandkids call me Gigi, right? Are you gonna be a lost thought? It's like when they're looking through pictures, you have nothing tangible. You leave them nothing, just the pictures. They're good too, but you have to leave something tangible for the generations to come. And I understand it is hard time, and we're going into an election period. I know, I totally understand. But guess what? The informed, no matter what, they are paying themselves first, right? And what's left over, they'll pay their bills. So we need to get in that habit of paying ourselves first, because that's how you're going to build, you're going to save for your kids, for that car, college planning, right? So for those who were not on last week, so here are the pros and cons of the 529. It's good, right? It is a mutual fund account that is driven by what's happening in the stock market. A lot of people don't know that those investments are directly affected by the stock market. And the stock market is affected by people, events, right? Wrong person say the wrong thing or the right thing, then the market shifts whichever direction, right? So you need to have a strategy that you can guarantee that you're not going to lose money, right? So again, that goes into diversification. So a lot of people say, I'm diversified, I have a 401k, I have real estate investment, I have this, I have that. But when you look, everything is in the same bucket. So you have to have some strategies, some plans that you have a different bucket, a bucket that gives you security, right? 529 is in the market. It fluctuates. And you cannot build wealth, right, on accounts that is variable, that it fluctuates, up and down. It's really hard, right? It's really hard to build wealth like that. So you have no guarantee. You will be taxed on whatever you make on that 529 at the end of the day, right? And if your kids choose not to go to college, or you cannot use it in the state they want to go to college, guess what? You're going to be penalized, right? So what is the alternative? You can leverage an insurance strategy Yes, I know you guys hate insurance because you don't understand how to leverage it. So the goal is to help you understand that life insurance is a vehicle like your savings, your checking, your 401k, right? It is a vehicle that can help you attain your financial goal, right? It is a supplemental vehicle. If you have a 401k, you're getting a match. Hey, keep, doing your match, but have a supplemental vehicle that offers you some protection against market loss, right? So the life insurance strategy, again, you don't need to like it. It's not religion, it's not politics. Understand it. It's part of the financial system, right? America is built on financial system, economy. Life insurance strategies, the right insurance with the right company is part of your financial economy, right? So again, 529, you'll be taxed. You'll be penalized if it's not used for the purpose that it was funded, right? Some of them you cannot go across the state. But a life insurance strategy, you build compounded interest, right? On an average, getting 8%. Yes, compounded interest. Albert Einstein says compounded interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Either you pay for it or you earn it. So you have to ask yourself, are you paying for it or are you earning it? So you may say, okay, how am I paying for it? Do you own a car? You have a mortgage? Pull out that contract from your mortgage. Yeah, I know you bought the house for $300,000, but at the end of the day, based on the interest that you're paying and the number of years you keep that mortgage, that house is no longer $300,000. There's the compounds. Credit cards, they're not 3%, they're not 5%, they're not 10%, average 14, 18, 24%. So that's what we encourage you. If you have credit card bills, please pay just a little bit over the minimum. If you keep paying the minimum due, you'll never pay it, and that interest compounds, right? So understanding what you have. The strategy, you get market protection. You get protection against market loss, market crash. Yes, the insurance gives you protection. So how do you get that protection, right? So you have a cap and you have a floor. So the companies, the institutions, the Nationwides, John Hancock, Transamerica, who else? AIG, they say, hey, we'll take on the risk for you, right? We'll take on the hits. When the market goes bad, we'll give you a floor of 0. Some companies give you a floor of 0.75. So regardless what the market is doing, you're getting at least 0.75% interest on your money. Can't go wrong, right? So you get protection against market loss, market correction, and your money compounds. So what is compounded interest? Compounded interest is your ability of getting interest on top of your interest, on top of your interest. It grows. So an example, you have $1,000, right? At the end of the day, you have 10% interest, you get $100. Guess what? When it's time for you to renew, right? It's an auto renewal strategy or policy. You're not only getting interest on the 1,000 that you put in, but you're getting interest on the 1,100, right? And that goes year after year, right? So again, it's the eighth wonder of the world, right? So got to understand compounded interest, because if you are not earning it, you're paying for it, right? So again, you can leverage that for your kids' tuition. Guess what? If you have a 529 plan, you have to use it before you can get financial aid. But guess what? If you have an insurance plan that you are putting money away for your kids, right? That child credit that you are getting every year from your Uncle Sam, you're putting some of that money away for your kids. You can leverage that. You don't report it to IRS. It's a tax-free account. right? You put money in post-tax, right? And when you take money out, it is tax-free. Life insurance is the only income to date that is not taxed. It is free. Yeah, you may say, okay, how is it income? You can access it. Money coming into your account, that's income to you. So it is tax free. And if you do have a policy and you live in it for your family, your beneficiaries, regardless, it could be a gazillion dollars, right? Your family never pay taxes on it. Did you know that? Now you know, right? So life insurance is tax free. Never pay taxes on it, right? Take the money out, no question asked. So, hey, you can have your money in your life insurance strategy for your kids. You can cover tuitions, you can cover room and board, and your kids still can qualify for grants and financial aid if that's what you want, because it's not reported as asset. You don't have to report it to Uncle Sam. So 529, you do. Life insurance plan, you don't. It's tax free. So you choose, right? Whatever works for you. If I were in your shoes, I would stack up in life insurance and still be able to get grants and financial aid, right? Again, you can use it for whatever. What we need to realize is that the informed, a lot of them, they're not having student loan debt like most of us, because they are leveraging their savings to help their kids build wealth. Like one example that I've seen a lot with those who know how to leverage the strategy. They have the money. When it's time for their kids to go to college, they're not keeping them in dorms. They're buying an apartment, they're buying a condo, they're buying a house and sublease. So that income that's coming from the leasing of rooms to other college students, they can pay their college with it. So that's why some of them don't have college loans. It's not because their parents are super like uber wealthy and they pay for it. No, they have a plan in place that they can leverage, right? That's a word that we really need to take action on. Leverage. What do you have to leverage for your kids' future, for your kids' tuition? Are you only going to depend on the government to help you? And guess what? Those student loans, they compound. They compound. Again, that word. And before you know it, that amount will double and triple. The other thing I want to talk about is that how else are you protecting your kids? So there are things that the wealthy do, or the informed, the elite do, right? When it comes to financial empowerment, they know what accounts that they get taxed on, what accounts they don't get taxed on, what accounts are compounded, what accounts are not compounded, right? Savings. How much are you getting on your savings? You pay taxes on your savings, right? So there are things that you need to know, that how is it affecting me, whether short term or long term, right? One thing that I talk about a lot is protecting your assets. So you may say, okay, my kids don't have assets. How do I protect them? So yeah, they are your assets. So you need to protect them. So we talk about wills and trust. Okay. So you have a house, you have a business. Do you have an exit strategy for a business? When the time comes, whether you no longer want to have the business or you pass away, do you have a succession plan in place? Or is it just you think it's just gonna go away? If you have debt, a lot of people say, oh, I don't need a will, I don't need a trust, I don't have an estate. Let me tell you something. Everyone has an estate. Your estate are your unpaid bills, right? Even that last ambulance bill, that however you're gonna get to the morgue or to the hospital, it's a bill. So guess what? Government has a great system in place. They don't care about you. They care about the collectors, your creditors. So they have something in place called probate, right? your assets, whatever it is, your 401k, your banks, your credit cards, they will get frozen, right? All of your debts have to be settled through court. And guess who gets first dib? Your creditors, not your family. Hey, if you don't believe me, let's look up the Boswick's story, right? Black Panther. His family lost a third of his estate because of lack of planning. You would think someone of his caliber, have people around him, would have counseled him properly. Unfortunately, a lot of our celebrities, just like us, don't have things in place. And we hear it every day, right? Yeah, we need to do better. And it's a matter of putting away like a couple hours. It doesn't take long. I completed my trust like 2 hours, not even 2 hours, right? It is that easy. And it doesn't cost a lot. So I may say, oh, I don't have the money. Trust me. Yeah, when I look at some people's budget, they have more than enough to pay the trust. Again, there are some lawyers who are really taxing people, but there are some that you can get a simple plan for as low as $1,200 if you call me, so I can set you up with my lawyers. Yes, we can do it for a simple plan as low as $1,200. If it's a detail, can go up to $3,500. That's still a deal. All right, the average attorneys, they are charging $3,000. So yes, not only that, I help with life insurance. I can help you as well with the wills and trust. I can help you set that up for your family so that they're already mourning your loss. Why do they have to suffer again, right? The average probate is where all of your assets are frozen, and the court system, the government, has to decide who gets what. Guess what? Your debtors, your creditors, your collectors will get first dib of whatever you have, and whatever is left over, your family will get. And the unfortunate thing is that I wish I can tell you that it was an easy process. No, it takes 3 to 5 years to go to probate. And I've had a lot of people around me who have gone through it. 5 years. So imagine that you pass away and your family has to wait 5 years to settle your estate. The house, they cannot sell it if you don't have the proper document, if you don't have that quit claim deed that says, okay, the house is whoever on your trust, on your daughter's name, on your kid's name, or whoever. Guess what? A court system has to decide that. And if you have multiple kids, that could be a fight, because this one may say, hey, my mom would want me to have the house. This one said, no, there's no way. She didn't like you like that, right? So by having a trust in place, you're putting a fence around your assets. You're putting barriers, right? Not only when you pass, but if you are getting sued personally, it makes it hard for them to find your assets. And I would encourage you, if you are going to set up a trust, please don't put it on, Mrs. Brown's estate. Make it hard for them to find it, because they will try to find it. But if you naming it after you, after your family, what's the protection? Where's the barrier? So don't name it, Daniella Noel's trust. Please be a little bit creative. Make it hard for them to find you. That's the whole purpose of having the trust, to put barriers around your assets so that you are protected. If someone wants to sue you, you have nothing on your name, right? The informed, they control everything, but they own nothing, right? Nothing is on their name. So you can sue them all you want. You ain't getting crap, because you'll find nothing on their name. So the same thing goes for your kids. So if you're a parent, you have kids, in the event something happens to you, who's going to be guardian over your kids? That's something that people don't take. Unfortunately, life happens every day. People get into accidents, people get sick. So if you have kids, you need to have that trust. So the trust will come with guardianship for your kids. Because what happens if something happens to you? So let's say that you out of state, you're on vacation with your significant other, and something happens and someone has to go take your kids out of school. If they get hurt, if they don't have guardianship to make decisions for your kids, guess what? They're going to go to the system. So having a trust, again, you giving legal rights to someone to take guardianship of your kids, to take care of your kids. That's something that we don't think of. If you don't have that, if someone doesn't have legal rights to your kids, guess what? The system has to make the decision. You don't want your kids to go, we call it in Florida DCF. You don't want them to come and, put them, stick their nose in your business. So if you have kids, make sure that you have guardianship paper in place. You don't have to pass away. You can be on vacation and something happens and your kids need to be picked up from school, taken to the hospital or whatever. So that's another way that you are setting up your kids in the right path, protecting your kids, not only, financially, but also avoid them getting into the system. And those who have special needs kids, you need to have a special needs trust. They have them, because when you pass away, and if, even if they are of age, but if they are unable to take care of themselves, who's going to watch after them? Again, guardianship process takes a long time if they have to go to the court system. I spent 23 years in the nursing home division. My background is finance in healthcare. I've seen, wife, husband, they were okay. One got ill, right? In a nursing home, there is no power of attorney, unable to make decision. You have to go before a judge. Yes, your husband, right? So that's the purpose. That's the reason why you need to have those things in place, so that you have proper allocations of your rights, right? If you don't have a power of attorney, who's gonna make decisions for you? Your bank account, when they get frozen, if you don't have that proper financial fiduciary, you cannot go and access somebody's bank account. They will freeze them, unfortunately. Could be a husband. If it's not properly undocumented or properly set up, yes, you can deny access to your spouse's bank account if you don't have a trust, if you don't have power of attorney. Healthcare, if you're unable to make decisions, if you don't have the healthcare surrogate documentation, whether it's for your kids, right, or for your spouse, for a family member, for your parents, right, you need to have that in place to properly executing your family's wishes. If not, the court system has to make that up for you. Do you really want to give that kind of power to the court system? So I am encouraging you, right? Today, we talked about how you can set up different strategies that you can set up for your kids. We're seeing more and more kids are not getting a college education because it's debatable. Do you need it? Do you don't need it? Yeah, we still need doctors. We still need lawyers. But a lot of those degrees that, we used to get, they become null and void, right? So a lot of young people going into businesses, you can help them set up their business. They don't have to start on the wrong foot, by getting loans. Set up that strategy that they can leverage for whatever they need, they want in life, whether it's a car, house. If they're going to college, they can supplement, right, their FAFSA with that. Again, it's tax-free. You don't have to report it. Now, here's the other reason why that I know you don't like life insurance, neither do I, but I understand it. So I know how to leverage it, right? So understanding life insurance. So when I'm talking about life insurance, I'm not talking about your grandma's insurance that, you have to wait for grandma to pass, for someone to benefit to cover her funeral. I am talking about a policy that you can leverage while you're still living. Yes, whether you get sick. Another thing that people are leveraging life insurance for is for sickness, right? That, hey, you have to ask yourself, if you get sick, you are unable to work, how far your savings are going to get you? Do you know that you can leverage life insurance to cover medical expenses, replace your income, right? Through what we call living benefits. Yes, those are benefits that you can leverage while you are still living. You don't have to die to benefit from the policy. That's the type of policy that we are talking about, that I'm talking about. So I know the myth is, oh, it's a death insurance. I have to, when I pass. No, there are strategies that you can leverage while you're still living, right? The same thing goes for your kids. They have living benefits as well. And we see more and more our kids are getting the same illnesses, the same diseases as adults, heart attacks, stroke, cancer. Now, you don't have to go GoFundMe, right? We're seeing that GoFundMe, I think it's a lack of knowledge, not because they necessarily don't have the means, right? Lack of knowledge. A lot of GoFundMe's are done because assets are frozen because they don't have wills and trust, right? For example, the creator of Cash App, when he got stabbed, his family had to do a GoFundMe for him. Like, he is worth over $80 million. Again, lack of planning. He had no wills, no trust, so all of his assets were frozen. Right? He is worth well over $80 million. His brother had to set up a GoFundMe account for him to take care of his family. So, same thing for your kids. If your kids get sick, you don't have to go set up a GoFundMe. You can leverage your life insurance strategy, to cover those medical expenses. You are working, you are self-employed, you're a business owner. Stop and think about it. If you get sick and you are unable to produce, you are unable to generate income, what do you have that you can leverage as an income replacement? Guess what? Not your grandma's policy, but there are strategies, cash value policies that you can leverage as an income replacement. Yes. So I know that we've been sold on the term, short term, when you pass, only when you pass, and it pays. But do you know that those strategies only pay 2% of the time? You can look it up. Only 2% of the time. Reason being, people are outliving those policies, right? And the 2% that are paid, they are paid car accidents, gunshot wounds, right? So only 2%. Again, we're going back. You have a policy. Hey, hope to do. Yes, I'm glad you do. What is it doing for you? Is it taking you to the right destination? Is it something you can leverage when life happens, if life happens? So again, the same thing you can set up for your kids, you can set up for yourself. College planning, you can leverage a life insurance strategy for your kids that they can leverage for whatever they want in life. Get that will and trust done. Get that guardianship paperwork done for your kids so that if something happens, you have the proper documentation as to whom going to watch over your kids. They don't have to go through any system to determine, okay, guardianship. Hey, I hope that you learned something new. Again, I want to say thank you to all of my fans on Roku. I get all of the comments. I love you guys too. I look forward to come every week and share with you something you may not know or you've never heard of, or you may hear it but didn't know how it works, right? There's a lot of people hear about, IUL or cash value policy, but they don't know how to get them and how they work. So I am a financial broker. I am licensed and I'm able to help in all 50 states. So if you are in any states in North America, right, and you want more information, you can text me at 352-809-9037. You can DM me on Facebook, Instagram. Thank you for my Instagram family. Now I'm starting to do this live as well. I should have been doing it the whole time.